All right, I'll start. So I don't have a lot of experience with wheelchairs. I had one summer where my daughter had double ACL surgery, and we were kind of getting her around in a wheelchair, and it was manual, so totally different. But the one thing that I saw that was an issue was you just had the transportation and the storage of them is difficult, right? Yeah, you're folding them down, you're trying to find space for them, you're trying to put them on a tram or a subway. With this unit, is it going to hinder the user's ability to store or transport, because you put that device on and now it creates maybe a problem where you can't fold that thing down or whatever?
So the prototype we have right now does use bolts to be on, but we have been working on a system where, particularly Kenny Kang has been working on a system so that we can take it on and off easily. So that will not in any way hinder being able to transport the chair.
Okay, thank you.
I had a quick question. I really loved the video of it actually being used. I think that was super powerful. So thank you for sharing that. I guess my question is, and I might have missed it, so I apologize, but I really liked how you included some information around what consumers feel is affordable. And so I guess I was curious if you have a sense for what you think you would price this at. And I apologize if you mentioned it, I somehow missed it.
Well, so the data from our survey shows that most of our customers, in fact, I can go back to that slide. Most people we surveyed, they're between 500 to 2,000.
Yeah.
So I think our ideal price would be 1,000, but I would say $1,000 to $2,000 range for a final product, ideally.
Okay. Thank you.
I think this is great. I just had to purchase a wheelchair for my mom, and the various combinations and permutations that you can find for wheelchairs is huge. How easily do you think you can adapt to folding wheelchairs? And because there's so many different variations, but I think there are a couple of standards in how wheels go. I mean, are you comfortable that you can adapt?
Yes. Right now, our biggest challenge in that department has been frame styles. As you can see, our current design uses clamps. And so not every frame necessarily has room for the clamps that we have on our proof of concept. So one of the things we want to do in our research is figure out exactly what's the most common frame styles and most common, even if we can't capture 100% of the market, can we capture 80%
Yep.
of wheelchairs out there, 90%? And even for that remainder, can we still have an approach for it if someone wants to buy our device? And as far as the wheelchair wheel diameter, that's actually a much more easily approached problem, because at least as far as my research has turned up, there are 3 standard diameters, 22-inch, 24-inch, and 26-inch, which gives us a nice defined range, whereas frame styles are much more variable.
Yeah. And just one other, I agree. I think the video was phenomenal, because until I saw the video, I really wasn't quite a believer, but that video made it. that video made it. So use that.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of suspension, right? As you're moving around, you've got the 4 wheels on the ground, and this guy's going to have to float a bit. Are you mechanically compensating for that? Or are you just using a ballast, or what are you using?
Well, at the moment, we don't have any intentionally designed suspension. The mounting on the current chair was a little bit lower, so the aluminum frame is flexible, so it effectively acted as a suspension after the fact. But one of the things we're looking forward in our next prototype that I've been working on with Kang has been how to incorporate a sprung suspension system.
Cool. That's great. And how many hours did you might have said it, how many hours would you expect to get out of a charge?
We're aiming for about 2 hours for full charge minimum, at least on our current prototype.
Is that 2
For
hours of driving?
yeah, 2 hours straight of driving, which is sort of that covers most of the use cases that we got from people who surveyed it. In fact, if I go skip ahead here, we have how many hours would somebody use it? 2, 3, and 4 were kind of the majority cases, but that was not broken down into, is this straight driving, or is that, that was between people who'd be using it straight driving and people who, they might just be using it a bit and then they use the device and they use manual propulsion. So we're aiming for at least 2 hours there.
That's great.
Really powerful. I liked it.
So I know to the other judges, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but is there anything that you can patent with this? Is there some IP?
So the actual design is ours. So there are other things on the market that do similar things, but the closest to what we have made is something called the Smart Drive, which is on one of the slides. Alex, can you show it? So that is just a clamp-on device that pushes you, and you use the wheels to steer it. So this would be the only thing that's a clamp-on caster wheel, which uses a joystick.
Yeah, our caster style design, at least from every device we've seen, is unique.
Okay. And another question that I've asked to other presenters is, I think some wheelchairs are covered by insurance, right? So is your customer also, some of the major wheelchair producers? Because, I don't know if your device would be covered by insurance, but if you sold it with a wheelchair already to, a branded, a wheelchair manufacturer, maybe it would be covered. Are you considering that as as customers?
Yes, we have. So like the Smart Drive again is covered by insurance. So to do that, you have to go through FDA approval and things like that. Like there's a whole legal procedure to go through before you will be covered by insurance. But the idea is, even if we do not go down that road, it should be something that goes with most wheelchairs that are covered by insurance.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on Chris's question about IP for you guys, I think that's the next level here, is that as you're circling around a design, it's one thing to, survey the existing marketplace to see what the technologies are that are being used. But the patent literature, each of these companies, or, take your main competitor, they may have patents that exist beyond the scope of what is already in market, right? So being able to research, the next level down, which is tough to do in the beginning, but I think you're at that point where you can start digging to see, okay, what exactly about your design is patentable, and what that does is it makes you force about, well, what other variations on this could you have that aren't patented, so that you could, protect yourself, right? Like what other approaches are out there, and that's something we can talk about as we move forward. So that just another comment. And then most importantly, guys, after seeing your prototyping competition and the pitch there, and this and the fact that you built it and it's working, it's amazing, right? I love to see this, and so congratulations on everything you've done thus far. Can I ask where you got the funding for the prototype? I know you quoted $1,000. Have you guys been raising money in other ways, or is that self-funded?
Majority of it came from the school's capstone program, because Alexander and I are also using this as our final year capstone.
Perfect.
So like the really big things came from that.
Yeah, way to leverage that. That's perfect. All right. Any last questions from the judges or other facilitators?
No, love it.
Yeah, very,
Yeah,
very
nice
good.
job. Excellent.
Nice
Excellent.
presentation as well.
Thank you so much, and hope to see you soon. And reach out if you need anything from us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually,
Thank you.
Mac, do you mind if I address the patent?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So actually, one thing, we have looked at some of the developments. So for example, the Navi 1 here is made by Yamaha, and they're actually working on another device called the Navi Go, which is joystick operated. And so far as I can tell, that's the only joystick operated power assist in the US market. Because the Light Drive, I believe, is only available in Australia, but we included it because it's an example of technology.
Right. Well, it's something to think about, right? Like, because again, very common to say, okay, what's already out there in the marketplace, right? But companies oftentimes, patent stuff long before it comes to market, or patent it from a protective standpoint, right? And you guys are smart enough now that Google Scholar and Google Patent Search will get you to that pretty quick, because that has everything. But there are resources from the legal standpoint that can help you do that. And the IP office here at UMass Lowell might have some expertise to be able to help you do some preliminary patent searches. And of course, I'm happy to do it as well. So just that's part of growing it. And I don't think it's a hole at this point in what you're doing. It's just you guys are getting real. So let's start thinking about it real.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Good job.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.